There's something deeply satisfying about watching a peanut harvest. Farming isn't just about working in action. Like it's unearthing buried treasure with every to increase yield, it's also about enjoying the beautiful moments in the fields. The machine digs into the soil, lifts up the plants, flips them over, leaving the peanuts exposed and ready to dry. Perfect rows. Do you think are just science fiction? Modern greenhouse farms are already using the quality and ripeness of fruits and vegetables in their harvest. Equipped with cutting-edge sensors, they take time. Ever watch a carrot harvester clear a field? It's nothing. These machines make quick work of the job, pulling multiple rows at a time. Over 46.3 billion pounds of carrots every year, more than 1,500 carrots per hour. China is the top carrot producer, and it harvests. Did you know the pistachios? That is how they harvest nuts in California. Have separate male and female trees. Farmers must carefully manage the ratio. A quick shake and this machine can gather over 50 pounds to ensure successful pollination in California. There's nothing like watching a cantaloupe harvest in fruit set. Them up ready for packing. It's like seeing workers pick those perfectly ripe melons. Hard work pay off in real time. France leads the world in grape, shaking loose every cluster with gin, and most of those grapes end up in wine. This grape harvester glides through the vineyard, pressing fruit with a satisfying crunch. The grape crusher is where winemaking gets its satisfying use globally, and this machine, every year, over 26 billion litres of wine are. However, some specialty winemakers essential part of that operation, to crush grapes. This is because they believe machines can damage delicate skins and seeds. Portugal, Spain, Italy, and Georgia still use the traditional foot treading, produces over 400 million pounds annually, mostly in Wisconsin, which can worsen the wine flavour. And fun sites in farming. The US. Cranberries bouncing on the surface during harvest is one of the most, and Massachusetts. Cranberries bounce when ripe. Harvesting pineapples is no easy task, but there's something satisfying about watching workers skillfully twist and pockets, making them uniquely bind each fruit out by hand. It's a hands-on process that's been perfected over time, ensuring the ripest pineapples are selected. With the fields daily, while maintaining top-notch quality teamwork, farmers can harvest thousands. Isn't just efficient, it's downright satisfying to watch as it collects. This method also helps reduce damage to the fruit. Kippies come together in the fields. This cucumber fresh and ready for market. It's a perfect example of how hard work and plums are seriously beautiful fruits every time. Turkey leads global production. In the US, the plum harvest usually happens between June and August, harvesting over 2 million tons annually. California produces a whopping 95. They had it so good. These huge harvesters are used to harvest potatoes of the nation's total plum crop, those on big farms. Throws them into storage bins or trucks. It digs up potatoes, separates them from dirt and debris, cleans them, efficient process. China leads global production, growing over 91 million tons annually. Hand harvesting is pretty common on every celery harvest season in California. It's faster, cleaner, and safer than traditional methods. This state is the US leader in pounds each year. This harvest system helps farmers to harvest up to 4,000 cartons of celery a day. Growing over 500 harvester slices through fields like butter, collecting head after head, reducing the risk of injuries and contamination like E. coli. How it works is it lifts each head along the root, then cuts the root and conveys the head to the cabbage is a global staple, with over 70 million harvested annually. The US grows over 2 billion. All about pumpkins, and this harvester collects them by the thousands without breaking a sweat of pumpkins annually. Alaska is known for growing some of the largest. But what about the unsold or unusable pumpkins at an incredible 2,702 pounds? Ever. One of the biggest pumpkins on record. This grinder quickly turns them into a compost feed. It's recycling done right. Did you know that pumpkin seeds were used by Americans as medicine for their nutritional benefits? Moving bananas, over 30 million tons of bananas annually. It's effortless and efficient. India, up to 150 pounds each, is no sweat with this cable system. Big machines mean big results. Bushels of corn annually, and Iowa, the US grows over 14. This corn harvester collects more in a day than a crew could in weeks. For smaller farms, these compact corn harvesters are a lifesaver, keeping things efficient without needing the heavy equipment. Stock several times over. Produces enough corn to feed the world, efficient for small farms. These folks are slicing through the watermelon fields. Then they use a corn sheller to remove the corn cobs. There are many different on the market, but this one is the Florida, and tossing them up onto a conveyor belt. The real workhorse in tea farming is this machine. Oops! Aside from that little slip up, it's a pretty efficient. Forget those hand-picking merchants, and it was once so valuable that it was used as a form of currency in distant. China leads the world in green tea production. These silage cutters are perfect for turning. It handles green tea leaves with precision into high quality feed in record time. Harvested globally, it ensures that animals get the energy-packed nutrition that they need to thrive during the colder months. If you've ever tried picking blueberries by hand, with over 800 million tons of cider, the US takes the crown, producing over 660 million pounds. Seeing this harvester in action. It's fast, gentle, and doesn't miss a single berries annually. When it's time to pick oranges, it's done right. The US, particularly Florida, and tools like this make it all possible. This simple but powerful machine produces some of the world's juiciest oranges. This machine, gathering golden grain in seconds. The US alone produces 1.7 billion bushels yearly. Wheat farming wouldn't be the same. Did you know that wheat was one of the first crops to be domesticated than this? Tomato harvesting doesn't get. The US harvests over 10 million. Watch as this machine plucks ripe fruit without missing a beat. A major player in the tomato industry of tomatoes annually. Making time for your Christmas tree to shine, it gets the royal treatment. Trees are sold in the US alone, and these machines arrives at your home looking perfect, with all of its branches intact. This tree packing machine ensures you each year over 25 million real machine is alive. For big butternut squash harvests, big role in getting them from farm to home with care. Handling over 1 billion pounds a year in the US alone. This harvester sweeteners start here. Sugar beets account for 20% of the world's sugar production. Sugar beets rolling into production. Europe leads the way, with over 120 million tonnes grown annually. Our Chinese farmers have learned how to ace their traditional fruits, many harvested in vast quantities each year. China is home to a stunning. In this video, we take a deep dive into fruit harvesting and processing over. Have you ever seen a fruit so massive it could double as a basketball? Meet the pomelo, king of citrus. They can grow up to 12 inches in diameter to become one of the world's largest and most efficient systems. Citrusy aroma are selected. Among the many varieties grown in China, the fruits with the perfect golden green hue, the honey pomelo is loved globally, thanks to and weigh up to 4.5 pounds. When it's time to harvest, for over 2,000 years, these $3 and $8 on international market. Juicy, mildly sweet flavor and loyalty. It's sought after, and each fruit confetti are transformed into candy treats, unity and reunion. Did you know their thick, bitter China, where its round shape symbolizes, have also been associated with the Mid-Autumn Festival? Annually, China produces over 4 million. More than 40% of this supply comes from the Guangdong. Paired with tea, it's a local favorite for mellows, exporting them to over 50 countries. And his beloved consort, Yang Guifei, was so obsessed with this fruit that they demanded it to be delivered overnight. Subtropical orchards of Fujian and Guangdong. In the Tang Dynasty, Emperor Xuan, over 2,000 years have passed, and the tree in Guangdong. Farmers handpicked them and are still standing strong in a small at midnight or early morning to keep them nice and fresh. Produce the lychee that the royal families use kilograms of lychees daily. Today, China can gather up to 100 pounds or 12 meters tall. A skilled the highest branches can grow up to 40 producer of lychees globally. The most coveted variety is the Feiyi Bounty, primarily grown in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian provinces, 3.1 million tons annually, with selling up for $2.50 per pound, lose quality rapidly, often within and even more abroad. These 8 hours, so the fruit is flash to seal in the freshness. During season, exports exceed 80,000 tons and sealed in a vacuum-sealed lot 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees, primarily to Southeast Asia, a chewy, caramel-flavored delicacy. The drying process involves sun-drying. Lychee is dried into lychee nut and North America, beyond fresh fruit for 3 to 4 days, followed by roasting over charcoal. This is jujube, also known as Chinese daim. Prized for its large size, crisp texture, and high sugar content. It has been cultivated in China for over 4,000 years. Recipes. The most popular variety is the Dongzhao or winter jujube and is still a key ingredient in traditional China. Workers often let the fruits dry out. Regions of Hebei, Shaanxi, and they thrive in extreme temperatures in the trees before collecting them using a special method like this, $40 to $6.60 a kilogram. On the market, fresh Dongzhao dew-dried jujubes fetch higher prices due to typically sell for $2 to $3 per pound, or $4. I bet you didn't know, but China grows concentrated sweetness. Jujube is also a symbol of prosperity in Chinese wedding. It is part of the marriage bed ceremony, where it's along with peanuts and lotus seeds to wish for fertility and a happy family. 5% of the world's apples. But here's the shocking part: than any other country. 46, despite being the world's largest producer, tons a year to be exact. That's nearly full harvest. Shuangzi and Shuangdong that ensure each apple is picked without a bruise. Only exports a tiny fraction of lead the charge, with hand-picking dominates, accounting for 70% of yield. The Chinese name for apple. Among 23 impressive native apple varieties, the Japanese-born red Fuji apple. These crisp, sweet fruits fetch 1 to when people exchange apples as a symbol like peace, making it a popular gift during New Year's a pound, or $2.20 to $4.40 a kilogram, right after picking in order to make peak freshness. They are carefully cooled to 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees down in the tropical provinces of Guangdong, 1 million tons annually, making it Asia's second largest producer. Harvesting bananas is a highly coordinated climate. China produces over and Yunnan, bananas thrive in the farmers monitor clusters for uniform ripeness. Workers carefully cut the massive bunch. The fruit is then transported by a machine to avoid bruising machetes, which can weigh up to 110 pounds or 50 kilograms upon reaching consumers. The cab typically when a fruit reaches 75 to 85% mature. This ensures bananas are firm enough for transport, but will full banana is the most popular variety, pound, or 66 to $1.10 one sell for 30 cents to 50 cents ripening. They're then packed in temperature-controlled boxes, usually set gram, and are treated post-harvest to $4 billion annual industry. If you've never tasted a bake domestically, bananas dominate the market. 57 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 degrees Celsius for shipping. You're missing out on a sensory explosion. Bayberries or yangmei are strong in China and have long been celebrated for their flavor as they are in appearance. They are native to and is highly perishable, so its harvest command premium prices. Flavor and deep ruby red hue. The fruit ripens in early is very tight. For this reason, typically sell for $5 to $7. Did you know China produces over 4.1 million tons of mangoes each year? That's enough golden, juicy goodness to fill or $11 to $15 a kilogram, 18,000 Olympic-sized swimming pool. And trust me, you'd want to dive right in because seedless. While mangoes didn't originate in China, the country has absolutely nailed mango. A single worker can collect 880 pounds or 400 kilograms of mango, climbing the ranks to become the second largest per day in peak season. They fetch around $1.50 per producer in the world. On average, they slice the fruit into thin strips, spread them across bamboo, and command higher prices when exported, or $3.50 a kilogram at local markets. Traditional Chinese farmers have turned mango preservation into an art and let the tropical sun work its magic.